Hello YouTube fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tina and I make videos on lifestyle, home, and DIY projects every single week. I'm really excited for today's video because I finally finished my dining room, which means that all of my main living areas are done. I would say over 50% done because we still have my closet, bathroom, and my entryway to do. But one of my biggest goals is actually to finish all the main spaces before the holidays, and I'm really happy with how the dining room came out. For my dining room space, I really wanted to go for something a little bit more light and airy, and that way I can really build upon it and then decorate it for any season. So that's exactly what I did. I styled it for the holidays and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I also want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Article. They are such an amazing brand and I can't wait to show you guys all the pieces that I picked out from them. So in this makeover, you're gonna see me make a DIY style for the holidays, as well as just making over a very tiny space and making it cozy but comfortable. So let's jump into the before so you guys can see what we're working with. So here's the area that we're working with, and at first glance it doesn't look too bad, but this table is actually from Facebook Marketplace. I got it to use for a crafting table. I liked that it was white, but it does have some marks on it. Can you tell? Yeah, it has a few scratches and things, which is okay because I usually put craft paper on it, but it is not quite big enough to be a dining table, so I'm putting this somewhere else. And also you might notice that I have a outdoor dining chair and this thing is not comfortable at all. So we kind of have to switch out the chairs as well. And as I mentioned, I usually craft here, so I have my little ring light so I can do projects at nighttime. And this is basically the space. It is pretty small, but it's okay because it's just Brian and I eating here most of the time. And you guys probably remember this project. I absolutely love how this came out. This area just gives us extra counter space, especially since our kitchen doesn't really have that much. And it's also just the perfect space to put some of our produce here. And then I also have this as a little bit of storage for pantry items, as well as extra plates and dishes and things like that. But I think I will add some holiday touches to this for the reveal, and I'm really excited for that, so yeah. Oh, and then lastly on the floor, I have a few of my Halloween and fall decorations. I'm going to put this in storage and just put it away so that we can have a fresh start for the holiday season. Hello from VoiceOver Tina. So you guys already know the drill. I'm going to start with a blank slate and just remove everything from this space. And usually what happens is that the room that I'm working on, it gets empty, and then all the other rooms in my home get full of all that stuff. But luckily I did not have too much to clear out this time around. I'm so happy that I'm finally completing the space because I really wanted all of our main living areas to be complete for the holidays. I'm planning on putting the Christmas tree right next to the dining room so that it sits right between our living and dining rooms, and I just can't wait for all the cozy feels. And if any of you are also making over your space, remember that your space is a blank canvas and it's really up to you to make it into a masterpiece. Ooh, a rug that's not super heavy to carry for once. So the first thing I'm going to do in this space is to lay down my rug. I got a 4x6 rug just to fit this area. It's not too big. I could have gone smaller to something like a 3x5, but I thought that would just be way too small. And as you guys can see, like this is kind of a walkway. So I couldn't really get anything much larger than this. So I'm hoping that it is beautiful. So let me open her up. So excited for this. Is this the right way? Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh my god, I love it. Looks so much better already. So cute. Oh my god, I'm so happy with this rug. I really love how it looks in this space. I wanted to go for more of a natural jute rug just because it is in the kitchen area and it's going to get dirty. And I also have a rug pad coming in, so it's going to be a lot more comfortable. So I have to go back and put it back under, but I am absolutely in love with this. I love that there are natural tones in it, so it really ties in with the rest of the apartment. But because there are some black and white and even gray accents in this rug, I think it really plays off nicely with the kitchen cabinets in here. There's so much gray in this apartment, you guys probably already know that. So I think overall this just ties everything in really, really nicely. And I'm very, very happy that I went with something that's a little bit more geometric and Southwestern inspired. It just makes the whole space feel so much better already. And now it is time to add on some furniture. Okay. I honestly was gonna wait until Brian got back home so that I could open these, but I honestly am too excited. So I'm planning just to build these all on my own, but as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this makeover is sponsored by Article, and it's honestly such a dream to work with them, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for making this happen. I am very excited to show you guys all the pieces that I got. I think all these pieces are gonna suit the space so perfectly, and even though I have a small dining room, it doesn't mean that I can't make it stylish, and that's kind of the recurring theme that you guys see in my apartment. It is pretty small, but I'm able to pack a lot into it. So I'm really, really excited to get one of the most important rooms in the apartment done. And yeah, let me show you guys what I picked out. All the furniture pieces for this makeover were so kindly gifted by Article, and the first piece is their Svelte chair, which is this beautiful mid-century modern design that you can use indoors or outdoors, so I love the versatility of that. I chose this piece because it's lightweight, and since this dining room gets a lot of traffic, I just wanted to make sure that it was something that I can move around easily and still stylish. I honestly was so excited to open up this next box because their Gabriola bench is gorgeous. It's made with a boucle fabric, which is so fun and adds so much texture to the space. We actually had a bench for our dining table at our previous place, and using a bench is just a great way to add some extra seating while saving some space. This is so cute. So comfy. I love that I can move this piece into the living room so that when we have guests over, we also have some extra seating, and that's just a really big bonus, especially if you have a smaller space like I do. Article makes it easy to have a beautiful space, especially in times like these when being at home is more important than ever, and they offer high quality furniture at a great price, and their wide selection really makes it easy to shop for any style. I'm really loving all the pieces that I chose, and now it's time for the star of the show, the Mara Cafe table. One of the biggest challenges in my apartment is that it is very narrow, so I was looking for a table that was a bit on the smaller side, and this is just the perfect size for Brian and I in our small dining area.
Ooh.
Ooh. The veining on the marble is gorgeous and it adds so much pattern to the space. I love that it has solid wood legs, and the marble on top just makes it such a beautiful combo. It's a super classic look that can fit in so many different spaces. Article ships almost anywhere in the US and Canada for a flat rate fee of $49. They offer free shipping on orders above $999, and to make sure that everyone stays safe, they also have contactless delivery. All these pieces are looking so good, and if you like anything, be sure to check out the link in my description for all the pieces that I'm styling with. So here's a look at the layout so far. I think this works perfectly in this space. As you guys can see, this is kind of a walkway, so this kind of has to be pretty small. And I'm gonna put a Christmas tree over here somewhere, so I'm really happy with how this is looking so far. And the last thing I'm gonna add is actually this beautiful chair cover, also from Article. This is so soft and it just adds so much cushion to the space and really cozies it up, especially for the winter time. It really ties in the warmer tones from the bench, and I think that looks super good together. So far, loving the layout. So everything is looking really cute in here. The next thing that I want to do is to add some height to the room. So I really want to do a larger piece of artwork right on this back wall right here, and I think that's really going to draw your eye upwards and really designate this place as the dining room. So what I'm thinking about doing is making a large scale wall hanging. It's going to be about 4 feet just to cover this whole area, and the techniques that I'm using are super simple, and it's going to look so good on this wall. To start this wall hanging, I'm going to sand down this large wooden dowel. There's some paint at the end, so I just had to take a little bit of sandpaper and it came off pretty easily. The dowel that I'm using is 7/8 of an inch thick by 4 feet long, which is exactly the length that I needed, and it worked out perfectly. So for my project, I'm using some chunky yarn in this beautiful cream color. I'm going to measure one piece about 32 inches, and I'm going to use that to cut the rest of the yarn about the same length. And when I was doing this, I was not too picky about having exact measurements because this wall hanging is going to be very organic looking. Plus, you can always trim the ends later if you want a blunt cut. And I also ended up using about 2 skeins of this yarn for this project. Now I'm going to create a lark's head knot. So first, I'm just going to fold my yarn in half, and then I'm going to place it over the dowel and then pull the ends right through. And for each piece of yarn, I made sure to place it over the dowel so that it would create this nice knot in the front. So I basically just repeated this and looped all of my yarn through. Next is the fun part, which is getting creative with the yarn. So I was really just experimenting with this by splitting the yarn and then fluffing up each strand. I also took the separated strands and I braided them all together, and I thought this looked so pretty. And this was actually my first time creating a yarn wall hanging, and I was just having a lot of fun trying different techniques with each piece. But these were the two main techniques that I used for all of the pieces of yarn in this project. So as I'm working on this project, I added in the smaller pieces of yarn, and I actually used 2 different types of yarn, and this just added so much texture, and it also filled in the gaps so that the yarn would span the whole width of the dowel. So I actually moved this project in my closet so I could hang it up and work on it, and I found that this was really easy. And for me, this whole process was just very organic. I would just add in more yarn and play around with the thickness, and I also just kept braiding it and just creating tassels and creating more textures. And the more I added, the better the wall hanging was looking. And honestly, that's all there is to it. This project is super beginner friendly, and it was also very affordable. The dowel was $4 and I got all the yarn on sale, so this costed me less than $30 to create, which is really awesome for how large it is. Welcome to day 2 of this makeover. I'm reporting live from my closet, which is a really big mess right now, but future video on that coming soon, I think. As you guys saw, I was working on this all last night just because I can put it on this little hook, and that's super helpful, especially if you're working on a wall hanging, to just put it up somewhere so that you can work on it vertically and see exactly how it looks. So let me show you guys the progress so far. I am like 99% done, and I'm really happy with it. Alright, so here is how it's coming along. It looks so pretty. I love how fluffy and cozy it's looking. I really wished I had more of this thicker yarn, but I feel like everyone has been shopping at Michael's, especially in quarantine. They're out of yarn and paint right now, and I just can't find any more of this cream color. So I might go back in and add more once I can, but I'm pretty happy with how it is right now. So last thing that I want to do is add a little bit more of this yarn. I thought that it was just so unique looking. I've had it in my stash for a while, and it just adds a lot of coziness. So I'm gonna loop a few more of those in, and then I'm basically just going to trim the bottoms. I don't want it to be straight. I kind of wanted this organic look, and I really love it. So that is it, and then I'm gonna go hang it. I am so happy with how this looks. It's the perfect addition to this space, and I love that I can easily change it out and make it a little bit more festive. So I think that when Christmas comes a little bit closer, I'm gonna put a garland right on the top rod over there. It's gonna look so good. I'm really happy with how cozy it is, and also just brings your eye upwards in this little tiny space. And the last thing that I need to do is to style it. So since everything in this space is pretty neutral, I like that I can dress it up with all different colors, especially when it comes to the holidays. So I'm gonna go ahead and style this as if I had a holiday party just for me and Brian. So I will do the table, and I'm also gonna do the shelves back there just to tie everything in and make it really perfect for Christmas time. And let's go ahead and roll the styling montage. To make things extra special this holiday season, I'm creating a tablescape with a garland and taking it up a notch with linen napkins and wreath place cards that I DIY'd in a previous video. I think the dining room is such a fun space to style for different seasons and holidays. I'm keeping things pretty light and natural for this year's theme, so you'll see me switching out a few pieces for more festive ones. And what I love most about my new dining space is that the base pieces like the furniture and all the finishes are very neutral, so I can change up the look of everything by just adding in small decor pieces to really complete the room. So now that the space is complete, it is time to reveal it to you guys. Let's take a look back at what it looked like before. It was not stylish at all the furniture was mismatched, I had my craft table in there, and I'm really proud of where it has come. So without further ado, here's the after. do you guys think of the space? Let me know in the comments down below. I think it is so cozy, but also modern looking. I think it really sets the whole vibe for what my holiday decorating style is going to be. And I can't wait to put the Christmas tree up right next to the dining room. I think it's gonna look so good and really tie in both the spaces of my dining room and my living room together. It feels so good to finally have this apartment actually feel like a home. For a while, it was empty and everything was everywhere. I had lots of packages from furniture pieces, and just making over all these spaces has been a little bit stressful, but now everything is in its place just in time for the holidays, and I am so happy. And again, a huge thank you to Oracle for sponsoring today's video. All of the pieces are so beautiful and high quality. I would definitely recommend that you guys check them out. They have some sales right now for Black Friday, and I will link all the products I use down below, so be sure to check that out. And how good does the wall hanging look? I think it came out so beautiful. It was really easy to create, affordable, and just filled out the space so nicely. So if you're looking for some large scale art, I would definitely go this route. If you like this video, make sure that you give it a big thumbs up down below and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm posting every single week. Lots more DIYs coming up and even a thrift flip, hopefully, if I get all the materials on time. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of that content. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!